Yo.
Yeah, I think that's picking everything up still.
Ooh.
Shouts to Dwain.
Yeah, it's recording now.
Nah, it's not recording on the camera.
I'm just saying. No, it is.
Yes, we're back again. We've got Rangi here as well. You know, we're almost at the full roster. Part-timers back for episode 2. How's everyone doing? Who we got in the Zoom chat?
What's going on?
Hey, right, you're not going to introduce us, man.
You forgot a name.
Bruh, man. I thought you were...
Innit, bro? We got names.
We got Wegz in the Zoom chat. We got Chris in the Zoom chat. We got Daniel. We got Rangi. The part-timers are here. As I said, unfortunately, Kevin couldn't make it. But, you know, how's everyone doing?
All good.
Hey, I need energy, man. Energy.
Yeah, good.
Bro, I've had a full day.
Good, you know?
Just be lucky, man.
I'm good. I said be lucky.
Nice
To be with the man, them.
Yo. Here's what we're saying.
Well, we're back for another episode of the Part-Timers Pod. We appreciate all the feedback we got on the first episode. Honestly, thank you for all the comments and whatnot. You know, we enjoyed that conversation. We look to have another wavy conversation today as well. What were you man saying on the feedback as well of the first one? How did you man feel that?
No, it was good. I felt like shout out to the people who tuned in and supported.
Yeah.
Only more to come, I'd say. But anyone else?
A lot of good feedback, man.
You doing it? You get me?
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
As the part-timers, today we're introducing a new segment. It's the part-time hustler of the week. And basically the whole essence of the part-timers brand was to kind of spotlight people who are trying to turn their part-time hustles into a full-time thing. So this week, the part-time hustler of the week is 2902. She's a DJ, she's a director, she does graphic designs, and she's actually out here doing graphic designs and packages for black businesses right now. So I just wanted to shout her out on what she's doing. Follow her page on Insta 2902. As I said, she's sick for directing, DJing. Yeah, shout out to her, man. She's sick. She's doing her thing. She's pushing her brand as well. She was at Adidas. And yeah, man, she just keeps on going from strength to strength. It's good to see.
All the links in the description and that. Don't forget that.
We'll put her in the description and everything.
Yeah, we'll put her in. But shout out to her, man. She's doing good work and she just keeps on going with it as well. As in offering free packages and creative packages for black businesses. Now it's what she's doing as well. So yeah, man, shout out to her, man. You know, we like to see it. We love to see it, you know.
The Allure connection, they do like facial cream. Again, their info will be dropped in the description, but go check it out. It's amazing cream. It's really good for your skin. It can highlight your melanin, of course, and clear up your skin.
Is that why you're looking like that, bro? I'm going to say, cuz.
Yeah, is that why you're glowing like that, yeah?
It's shining, fam.
No. That stuff will be put in the description. So, yeah, check it out as well on Instagram.
Wavy. So,
sounds good.
Wavy. So yeah, I had a tweet a couple weeks back actually that I just had turned into a big discussion on Twitter, and the tweet was UK rappers make music for the moment. Only a handful make timeless music. I actually thought this would be a sick conversation for today, so the floor is open for that tweet. And why do you think this kind of stigma sticks with UK rappers?
So I would say start with what artists in the UK do you feel like actually makes timeless music then? Who pops into your mind as timeless music makers in the UK?
That's a difficult one.
Well,
do you know what? Obviously, I'll definitely say it's a mix between a lot of genres. So just throwing in examples like Craig David. Craig David's made a lot of timeless music, I'll definitely say.
Okay.
Who else has made timeless music?
That's a shout out.
You could talk about David. Yeah, you know, Craig David. People need to put respect on what Craig David did, bruv. Craig David, he had people internationally knowing. But the fact that he moved out to Miami because of his thing, you know that his thing was different back then, certified.
Yeah.
So
that was early 2000s.
Because born in America, right?
Yeah, Canada, it does well everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
So he's definitely made timeless music. But to the fact that even Nux is still remixing him now, it just says a lot, innit? So,
I think it depends on the music needs time to mature. Do you know what I'm saying? Like for something to be timeless, it needs that time. So
when was Born to Do It though? When did that come out?
That was like 2001.
Something that came out hasn't had time to mature. We can't say it's timeless until however long left, and we say it's timeless. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, So, saying that, do you think what UK rappers or UK artists right now think make elite music? Like, what ones do you think make like top tier music that
you could change it? You could change it like who can make an actual project, like a strong, cohesive project. Because I think that's the thing. We have a lot of rappers that make great singles or great mixtapes, I guess. I don't know. That's another way you could think about it.
I think the difficult part is obviously everyone has their own story to tell, and it's if a lot of people resonate to it, that makes it timeless. So like, I don't know, like Dave's album, Psychodrama, a lot of people could resonate to that. But like, if he drops an album where it's just hits, is that timeless? How do you base the timelessness off that? Is it like it might not be songs that resonate with people, but it'll be like, you know what, at the time that dropped, that was amazing, and it's just timeless because of that.
Yeah, I think Psychodrama was like a rarity though in terms of UK projects, because it was actually, there was a story within it and that kind of vibe. I think we hadn't seen much of that in the UK, if you understand.
Yeah.
No, for real.
A lot of UK music is made to be catchy though. That's the thing. Like I don't think a lot of people in the UK make music with the impression that I want this to be still something you can listen to in 5 years, 10 years. I think it's let's get it popping right now. And then even like to kind of caveat that as well, like we had this, Dwain, how many times we had this conversation about artists? They don't do artist development no more. They just push them to the front, put them out there because they're not trying to capitalize on longevity. They want to capitalize on right now. So the industry is not kind of conducive to making timeless music anyway. Do you know what I mean?
And then, I agree with that, because on top of that, I think that's why like there was a stage, or you probably say even now, probably more of the mainstream or music that's charting, most of it sounds the same, but most of it sounds the same because I feel a lot of artists or people that are doing music are not really genuinely doing it because they love music. They're just doing it to get on and popping and whatnot. So a lot of people will see a trend and be like, okay, this is popping right now. Let me record a song. I can get thousands and thousands of views on GRM. I can, do a couple uni performances, and then say if the song goes so big, maybe they haven't thought, how am I going to now adapt to, how am I going to make something timeless, or how can I go to make an album or whatnot? Like, I feel a lot of that falls into it.
I think there are genuine people who love music. I think the issue comes with people's brethren make music and people who are in the like group or in the circle that make music, innit? Like,
everyone's got to eat that, man. Everyone's got to eat.
I know, but that's what I mean. And some of them are not rappers, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Which is clear. But no, I think, do you know what? I think it's in a good place in terms of, I think, bruv, we're a long way from the 2010s when we had Tinchy Strider. No offense to them, man, innit? But Tinchy Strider doing the pop music, Skepta doing the pop music and doing foolishness, and Wiley doing the little summertime tunes. I feel like we're in a space where people can make the music they actually want to make.
True. I think also, like when it's like different genres, I think that's where it's going to be like, to certain people, certain pop songs might be timeless. To us, I'd say majority of us is probably going to be hip hop and rap, like a storytelling thing, where you'll be like, you know what, raw, this hits home. I get it, or I can resonate to the point where I can get the people who have had experiences like this, and that makes it timeless itself. But it's a give and take on what your preference is, because for me, there's certain artists which don't make timeless music, and it's good in the moment. As Dwain thinks, I like jumpy music, but
you do, bro. That's why your knees are finished, bro.
Right. Yeah, I'm drawing on my knees this earlier though. This is peak.
Let me into the pod. But
that kind of stuff, if you hear that back in like 10 years time, I'll be like, you know what, that's a big song. Like, I remember I was talking about Bugatti.
It doesn't.
That was a hit back in the day.
Yeah, that sounds a bit dated though. I can't lie.
It does, but it's like, you know what? At the moment, it's one of those things that that is a timeless hit.
No, but it doesn't. I'm not saying it needs to be a psychodrama. Like, I know we're gonna come on to Ambushes, but Ambush is far from that, innit? But there's a quality to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's actually quality to it. It isn't just throwaway music. But we'll talk about that because we're gonna do.
I feel like you can't really say, because, like, okay, somebody can set out to make the most timeless piece of music in their mind, and actually after like a year, no one cares no more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's one of these things where, what Wegz was saying as well, a lot of it depends on how it resonates with you. Like, is this something that you like specifically? Because I know there's tunes that I like that resonate with me, that to me, I will say this tune withstood the test of time that other people, do you know what I mean, might not think about as well. So I think there's so much like subjectivity to it. you can't really say. And then again, just the whole idea of, you know, something needs time to be timeless. I think what you're saying about this is probably one of the first few times where in the UK we could have like a platform to make music. Is still new, like it's still, do you know what I mean? It's still bubbling. So obviously people are likely to get excited and do too much. I think eventually the cream does rise to the top.
Yeah, but people, like I said, people have the freedom to put out projects now. They don't have to rely on labels as much. So you have people like DWE and Footsie who have operated for years and been in sets and been in grime sets. They only released their first album in the last couple of years. I know Footsie dropped this year. I think D Double dropped either last year or year before. Those are their first albums. They've been operating for decades. Like,
wow.
So I'm saying this is a space where people can actually make the music they want to make and put together a project of what they want to make, which will lead to the better music, in my opinion. Because when you're making something you want to make,
it's what Rangy, you were going to say. Go on.
Because we're forgetting that at the end of the day, the scene is relatively new. It's relatively new in terms of you're seeing artists be able to actually make big money from it without having to join labels. Without, even if they are joining labels, they're not getting the same kind of deals before. They're not doing this whole pop stuff like Daniel said before. So if that's the case, it's relatively new. So I think you got to give people a chance to actually find their sound, find what they really want to make, and do, and give their time to actually make expressive music and not in timeless music. Because at the end of the day, people don't. I think they're just experimenting with it, and that's what it is. But obviously, people are going to do what they're doing and will represent the times of now. But eventually, people will get exposed and realize the talent. Obviously, the cream always rises to the top, innit? So eventually, the good ones will stay and eventually go on, innit? So we just have to wait and see. Man.
I definitely agree with that. I do feel like the artists that have potential to do that, I always say, not that they don't I do say they don't get enough love, but maybe what you man are saying is right. I think maybe because in terms of like a Koji or a Little Sims, maybe there's not really a crowd for that UK hip hop, because I always feel like
the thing is they have their crowd though. It's just not a commercial crowd, because Sims gets to like concert dates and sells out O2, Islington and places like that. I know it's not the big massive venues, but they have their place. It's just, unfortunately, it's not the in sound. It's not the sound.
But the in sound, because it's different. Like in America, or even in Europe, I'd say Europe just take music for what it is. I still think in London there's a cosign mentality where people don't jump on things until someone jumps on it. Like maybe America is so big that you can kind of find you can kind of pivot, you can find your fan base. But I do think when it comes to artists, like especially the alternative hip hop scene, I think because they're so, I wouldn't say they're different, maybe because a crowd is not mature enough to kind of gather their sound. I do think in London, I know the sound is very, very samey. I don't think they get the love and respect like they deserve when it comes to the art they're putting out. That's my opinion, isn't it?
I think America has the same cosign thing. It's just that it's bigger. America's massive. There's so many different genres. Like, so if you're making down south, if Migos say you're popping, then you're popping. You don't need, I don't know, a Dave East or a New York artist to say you're popping. Like, people have different cosigns for different people. Yeah. Whereas here, you just have London.
That's it.
But I still feel like Sims, let's use Little Sims as an example. She's had tunes with Getz, Chip, Kano, Stormzy. Like, she's been on songs with all these people. So, and I'm just like, I don't know what more she could have done or what more of a cosign she could have got. I just think it's not that in, but she has her crowd. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like, I think that goes back to the point. That goes to the point to what I was saying about it resonating with her group of people. Like, every artist has their own fan base and whatnot. It's like what music resonates with what people. That's what makes it timeless. I mean, for me, Little Sims music doesn't resonate with me, and that's me. But like, I don't know, to listen to J Hus or Dave or something like that. That stuff I can be like, okay, you know what? I get that. I've seen that from experiences and whatnot. I can see what you got like coming across as. But yeah, like what you're saying, I think in America they definitely have the same cosign, and that it is bigger, and that makes it more attractive because you can get someone like from Atlanta making a song with someone in LA very easily like that and co-signing them, and they can be popping in the next year or so.
Yeah, I just think that people have their groups. Like Slow Tie has his fan base. Sims has a fan base. Like, there's people like A2, Nux who are coming up, but again, it's not
underappreciated, bruv.
They're underappreciated. They're amazing because they tailored their own sound, they produce, they rap, everything. Like, they're amazing artists. But I don't know. It's for the youth. The youth are always the trendsetters. The youth,
And I
enjoy
think that
drill and Afro wave more than anything. So
that goes back to what you said about how America's. Like, I think America is so big. Is like you can find eventually you'll find a pocket, or you find people that fuck with you. Like as you said, in the UK, like it's the youth that kind of dictate what the sound is, and if you're not in with kind of that kind of circle, but then as you said, it's not even that bad of a thing, because if you can still sell out a young Coco Camden or a Roundhouse, you're doing all right. So yeah, no,
exactly.
I hear what you're saying. We probably just need to give it time. But out of the UK artists that you've listened to, who do you think has the potential to go on and like reach like legendary status, like of the UK artists? And that's all genres across the UK. Like who do you think? Like I need hot takes. Yeah, hot takes.
Well, we can say there's people who are already legends, so we can say like the Kanos, the Gigs.
You're being safe.
No. I'm saying before we come on to who's coming up, we've got the people who are already legends. Like it's not like there's not already legends in it. Like yeah. That's all I'm saying in it. But potential, I don't know. Someone else want to go first? I got my people in it.
Hey, Raggy, you've been quite, I'll put it on you.
It's the first. It's the three, like J Hus, Stormzy, Dave. I definitely believe that they can potentially have a longevity and a prosperous career in this thing. They've showed already through what they put out that it's already going to looking like they could potentially just keep on putting out bodies of work, which is going to resonate with a lot of people. I'm still waiting for I'm still waiting for the proper intricate album from J Hus, but I feel like with time you eventually will get that. But yeah, I think them three are definitely standing alone right now in terms of what they're doing. So shouts to all three of those gentlemen, man.
No, I definitely would agree with them three. I think Stormzy's obviously come out of the bag because he's released 2 albums. In retrospect to them, Dave and J Hus dropping 1 album, but I feel like
J Hus has 2 albums, bro.
Yeah, J Hus got 2 albums.
First one, yeah.
Common Sense.
Oh yeah, bro, that's not bad.
How can you forget that album's amazing as well?
No, that is
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like that was very early in the sense that a lot of people probably hadn't heard about him. On a larger level than Stormzy.
I wouldn't say. All right, Stormzy's different because he's way out there. But
yeah,
that album solidified.
I remember Hus had
See
What I Done. What's it called again? Flip it. Oh,
A Big Conspiracy.
No, his first single, bruv.
Did you see?
Did you see what I done? No.
Did you see? Did you see?
Man said the words.
What I'm saying is before the album dropped, he released that. He was huge. I feel like that album.
Yeah, he had bare singles before that.
Yeah, he wasn't on the come up when that album dropped. I feel like he was already like at a good place. Like people were waiting for the album.
I'd say he was definitely getting radio spins and whatnot. And I'm not putting this against man, but I feel like Stormzy took it to another level with him.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah. If you put they're both like their first albums, I feel like Stormzy went even higher to a different demographic. That's what I was trying to say.
We're going to have a discussion about how Common Sense aged against Stormzy's first album, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like J Hus's trajectory was always going to be different from Stormzy's anyway. Yeah, it's just like Stormzy's definitely. Yeah, it was definitely a different trajectory. But for me, I'd rather have the less pressure of a J Hus, even though he's a bit mainstream. He's getting more mainstream. But Stormzy went straight from here into the bigger mainstream market, whereas J Hus is doing it in the way he wants to, still putting out the music that he really wants to, which is good. But eventually, I mean, you don't give him obviously time to grow, I guess.
Nah, Hus needs his flowers because he really carved out a lane. I have to say, he carved out a whole lane.
Bare sons out here, man. Bare sons.
Yeah, for real, and he's just unique. That does not up until now, or up until recently, there was no one that sounded like him really.
All of them.
You know what I'm saying.
Send it for PA Salute, yeah?
Yeah, well, I'm not even trying to say for him, but that sound, it was just
though.
us.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's sick. He's sick with it, yeah. But yeah, it was just us that was.
Daniel trying to start trouble, bro.
Interesting, isn't it?
Man's trying to start beef already, you know. Second.
That's a second episode, bro.
Them three definitely.
Did you say?
I said no. I agree with you. Them three, like definitely, because them three are that's the big three. they're different. I do think in terms of singers as well. I don't know if you lot listen to our album. I think Mahalia is special, man. I think Mahalia will do something like
that was a great album.
Yeah, I think she's
yeah. Her last album was
yeah.
sick.
Like I think she's special, man. And someone who's
checked
just
that on late.
Yeah, no, it was a good album. Someone who's just being consistent as well, which I like. I don't know if they're going to reach legendary status because of their sound, but I like IMDb as well because I think she's kind of carving out her own kind of sound and, you know, her own style, just the image and her fan base as well. Like, yeah, so there's a lot. It's obviously nuts, but yeah, there's a lot of UK. There's a potential, as you said, it's a new thing in it. Like, there's a lot of people that can grow, and it's going to be interesting to see like 2030 where we're going to be, like in aspects of that, just to see their growth.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
But at 2030 as well, the scene would have been very, very mature as well in terms of there's more experience in the game now. I think we're very far ahead. Well, America's very far ahead in terms of they've had this scene for years.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not like we're trying to catch them, but at the same time, at least we've got enough evidence to look over and say, "Yo."
But we're inspiring them, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. We're inspiring because I definitely believe that them lot have been. Obviously, they've been doing this for so long, and they see. I feel that a lot of them are looking for what's next. What can we really do? So the fact that obviously we've got social media, everything's around that we can now look internationally. Obviously, we're inspiring them in terms of even like from the UK drill scene. Yeah, like we're inspiring them in different sounds and playing with new sounds, which is good, and it shows a lot. And it's always going to put more stock back into our scene, which is good.
Yeah, no, stuff.
Yeah. I always feel like I feel like the ones that are gonna be remembered in time are the ones that are carving out their own sound. Obviously, those three are like superstars.
Yeah,
I feel like they carved their own name. Stormzy kind of brought grime element or that vibe back, and then went in his own direction. Huss brought in Afro swing. Dave brought back lyricism like properly and using the punchline rap, but to a more complex degree. But then I think I'm going with Dwain's kind of vibe, where it's people who are making their own thing. So the IMDb's, the Ep2, I think, has his complete own
wizard.
Mad. And he doesn't get appreciated for it. Obviously, the Knox like produces his own tunes. I'm just waiting for him to drop a proper project. Yeah. I think I'm gonna come out with a mad one. Millions, bro. There's something about Millions, bro. Because
in the drill scene, 100%.
Yeah, because the way he approaches drill tracks is so mad. Like I've never heard someone with that kind of flow, and the way I don't know, there's something about him. I'm telling you, he's a star in the making. I'm sure.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, it's poetry the way he says some stuff, bro. Because it's like the way he articulates stories and experiences that he's gone through. It's like you're actually along the journey with him in the song. If you get what I'm saying.
He paints the picture so well.
Yeah, he paints it so well. It's hard to be able to do that at the tempo of drill, the UK drill. But so you've got to appreciate the art when it comes to that, man.
Yeah, bro. The way he flows on shit is just crazy, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Like it's just so off.
Chris, what do you think on this?
Like I have nothing different to add to like what you guys are saying. Like, who do I think is going to make the most timeless music? Probably the people who are at the forefront now. I mean, if you're looking at UK music in terms of like the different genres within it, you've got kind of like that grime, that new age grime sound, which obviously you could say Stormzy's the guy of that. The Afro thing sound, you could say J Huss is the guy of that. Like what Dan said about more lyrically deep songs, you can say. So yeah, like you said, if you're carving out your own lane, you're more likely to be timeless. I do feel like there is a caveat to that in the sense of, does it catch on? Like at the end of the day, we can't really say what's going to be timeless until the time comes. But if you want to make those predictions, those are probably like, I have nothing new to add that what people have already said. You get me? So
no, I hear that.
So
I think I said, rounding up on this topic, as we said, I think a lot of good points were made. Especially, I like the point of you lot saying about how the youth kind of dictate sound, and everyone has their own kind of pockets of sound as well. Even the fact that you said like the UK scene is very, very new, and how we need to see it mature, and in 2030 as well, we're going to be able to answer these questions.
But I just think we've got to celebrate the fact that so many sounds come from the UK, bro. We invent so many sounds. Like I know Joe obviously originated in Chicago, but we took that, molded it, and changed it completely. And New York just basically took the same instrumentals. Obviously, they have their own flavor on it, but we created drill, created Afro wave, taking influence. Obviously, we created grime from time ago, like dubstep, all this. Even though I'm not into that, but I'm just saying all these genres. just come basically from the UK and have spread pretty much worldwide. Like
UK's moving it along very, very well.
I've got a take about the youngers though. So basically, you know the youngers right now. I look at it in terms of like a kid getting into. Do you know like Hamley's doors opening? So they're so excited, they run in, they go to one section. Oh, section's cool. Once they're done with that, they go to another section. They're like, oh, all right, that's cool. Done with that, let's go to another section. And that's how they kind of interpret and take in music. They start with UK drill. That's the thing right now. They appreciate that's all they're listening to. And
fair enough.
Eventually, that they go discovering people like Ep2, discovering people like Nux. They're like, oh, this is what these man been doing over there for time. When I've been listening to UK drill all this time, this is what them man been doing. Let me take it back. They're taking in that now. Obviously, back in that, then eventually they hop into another thing, and they're basically discovering the rest of the whole scene after being so focused on another portion of the scene. So it's like it's a beautiful thing being able to discover music like that, and I feel like the youngers, pretty much there's a lot of them, not all of them, but there's a lot of them that ride the wave. And
we did the same shit though. I'm telling you, because remember, obviously grime was the thing when we were younger, innit? Then gigs came out, and then it was rap. Like everyone missed grime when gigs came out, bro. As far as I remember, again, different areas of London.
Yeah, I remember.
But let me ask you this, Dan. Yeah, let me ask you. That's right. Let me ask you this: when grime was heavily popping, was gigs also doing that round the same time?
Yeah, but when he was, but as in on an underground level, when he come out with like Talking the Hardest and them things there was a shift in it. And I think everyone...
That was when the trajectory changed. So is there earlier music from that? Obviously, because I'm not going to really know that.
No, definitely. Like Hollow Man meets Blade and all that stuff was way before that. But not way before, a couple of years before that. I think, unless I got my time mixed up.
Yeah, but even around them times, I feel like still people were hearing and knowing about gigs. Not on a mainstream level in terms of a lot of the people, but there's still, I used to hear still his name around that time.
Yeah, he was
around that time still.
What we saw what recently, and especially with Akala's talk the other day as well, but generally Tommy Robinson recently came out and was talking a lot, saying a lot, bruv, and it looks like man's trying to start some kind of war, fam. Or some kind of battle. Wars maybe a bit extreme still.
Man thinks this is Hastings, bruv. 1066. He needs to relax.
Man, man's an idiot, fam.
He's a fucking fool, bruv.
I know. I mean, when I saw the video personally, I just looked at it and I was like, this guy he just wants to be a joker. Like, I know he's probably going to affect a lot of people in the sense of what he stands for, and he's going to, it's going to come across to him. But when I looked at it, I was like, bruv, who is this joke of a guy, bruv? His nonsense that he's coming up with, it's like it doesn't even make sense. Like,
that's the thing.
It don't make sense to like a logical person.
Everything he says just justifies his own personal agendas. Like as you said, in the broader scheme of things, nothing he says makes sense. Because even me living where I live, I know a man named like Tommy Robinson that will just chat West, and it's like when you speak to them on a level, they're spun. Like they don't know what to say. But their thing is like it's like when Brexit was happening. I remember being in my town, innit? And man, then we're like, yeah, man, immigrants are taking your jobs, blah, blah. I said, okay, but are you lot applying for the jobs? He goes, no. I said, okay, so what do you want to happen then? Silence. So, like, nothing, they're not making sense. Like, he's not making sense.
People like this, yeah, like, let's have it right. If you're racist, you're intrinsically ignorant. Your core values is ignorant. You're an ignorant person, yeah. So nothing you can say or do can surprise me. Like, do you get me? Yeah. This guy came out was talking West. I'm not shocked. This is not the first time he's been talking West, innit? Do you get me? But I feel like his agenda, like the funny thing is, I find is that outside of his sphere, when we're talking about the Black Lives Movement, there seems to be like a level of unity to a certain degree. I think within his sphere, it does very much seem like to him, it's all about him. It's all about his cause. He wants to take the limelight. He wants to be the unofficial spokesperson. He wants to be the martyr. You get me? Like, I feel like he's trying to make it all about himself as opposed to even their cause is ridiculous. But do you know what I mean? It seems very like showman-y.
It's attention seeking, isn't it? Like,
but I'm saying he strikes me as that kind of person who just wants the whole limelight type thing. Like,
so do you, man? Sorry, go on, Wes. Go on. I'll let you.
I see a lot of resemblance between that video and how Kate Hopkins acts. like on a.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
the top
Same.
attention.
I know, but
seeker.
that video to me said, you know what? I've seen what his previous ones were, but they're like he was on his nonsense, but he was like just trying
his
to
face was
organize
red.
things. But this one, man was trying out Little Mix,
His
Stormzy, and I
face
can't remember the
was
other person.
red, bro.
Man was looking like a pork scratching, bruv. That's what man was looking like, cuz.
Heated. I loved it.
But in general, like I knew when he was talking crap, when he was just drawing out Anthony Joshua, Stormzy.
Yeah.
Was it Stormzy? No, it was Stormzy.
No, it was Little Mix, bro.
Little Mix.
Of all the people to draw out, you're gonna draw out Little Mix.
Bro,
You leave them girls alone, bruv.
He's a legend.
All they do is do their pop singles and sell out arenas. What do they have to do with anything?
Look how many people marched, bruv. Man drew out Little Mix.
Yeah.
That's why I can't rate him.
He's just a waffle.
So what I was gonna ask, do you man reckon there's gonna be violence on Saturday then?
Ranks? You've been Rangson X?
Obviously, I don't want everybody to go over there, man. I don't want people to go to that. But at the end of the day, if they do go, but obviously protest peacefully. Obviously, come with your PPE. Obviously, make sure you're safe and that. But I think there will be. I think it's.
I like health secretary, bro.
I think it will be violence if he's gonna be up in there just causing, because he's gonna be causing havoc for a reason. I just feel like, even though it's a conspiracy theory for me saying this, but I just feel like they've set him out there for a reason, to cause a stir. He's causing a stir on purpose so that eventually they can get more footage for them to say this is what was happening in the protest. They're causing more violence. And obviously, I feel like the black people will be defending themselves from the likes of Tommy Robinson and his goons. Because at the end of the day, these are the real thugs. When they say thuggery, these are the real thugs coming out here just to cause stir. But they ain't gonna call them man thugs. That's what they're gonna do.
Of course.
They're gonna call. We're gonna look like the thugs at the end of the day. So, but
we're just gonna be grouped in with them, man. But the thing is, I honestly think there should be some police action. I think he's inciting violence and hate crimes. I've said this. I know I've said this a million times.
They want this.
White people can't do that.
Yeah, man.
No, they want this.
But then, bro, he's trying to challenge to a fight. Like,
I just don't want black people to fall for it. I just don't want them to fall for it.
That's it.
That's the thing for me.
This is what I'm saying.
And you know what's funny? You know me, innit? You know my stance on these kind of things. I was mad, innit? I've been mad about this kind of thing, yeah. But the more I thought about it, I was like, if I go there...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a suspect tweet from you, Chris, but...
Yeah,
you get me? If I go there, my accent is in the chat, by the way, guys. If I go there and do a magazine, like, it's gonna make me look bad. You get me? It's like, no, and let's face it. If what we're saying is the truth about how black people are always portrayed and blah blah blah, you all know how it's gonna go down as well. Let's be real. So I feel like let's not fall into that trap. I've been to one of these protests, and I wouldn't even say for the most part, I didn't see any. I didn't see any trouble. I didn't see any wahala. Do you get me? So I'm hoping it's the same. It's the same shit. I'm hoping guys can like swallow their anger and their hatred. I know it's the hardest thing to do, yeah. But let's not fall for it.
No emotion, man.
Because before, think about it, before, in your protest, because obviously I didn't get to go, but in the protest that you went, really truly, if there's going to be something that kicked off, it will be through the police, right? If it will be the police against the protesters, cool. And obviously no one's going to really want to trouble the police, because that doesn't look like you're giving them what they want, because at the end of the day, it's against them, police brutality. That's the whole thing why everything kicked off in the first place. Whereas now, when you add Tommy Robinson in the gang, now that's someone that you can viably want to attack, because look, he's a racist anyway. He's racist. He's coming out here to cause trouble for a reason, isn't it? So now, when you do fight him, it's not as bad. They're probably not going to do anything to you in terms of you might not get arrested. You might. It depends on how far you go.
Yeah. I think
if you fight, eventually, all they're going to get it on camera. They're going to get a camera saying, look, this is what their march is about. Violence.
The best thing would be for them to go out there to try and come and face the Black Lives Matter and no one be there. And they're there on their ones. No reporters, no nothing. They can go chill in Central on their J's. No attention, bro. That's what I want to happen. I don't want us to get drawn out, bro.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah,
that's all they want. They want attention. Even if they punch up Tommy Robinson, ICU mess man up, he's gonna still chat. He'll come up and still chat. It's not going to change anything. That's not going to solve anything, bro. And if
Nah,
he
they're
doesn't,
just-
someone else will.
I just think
We just got to look at it this year. Do you know what? Yeah, I've looked out the video that Tommy Robinson put out.
yeah, when he was just shouting.
Yeah.
Is that been across the media? Have they portrayed that and said that this is what Tommy Robinson's been on?
Yeah,
Nah,
no.
like, I don't watch the news like that.
But
Alright.
but I've looked. They haven't. But 100%, if he gets his face smashed in, they're gonna be look what the black
look what they
people
did.
did.
Yep.
Of course they are.
They're gonna
So
say,
they're gonna say.
and I think
That's what
that's
exactly what
the
it
whole
is.
thing. Like when you know better, we just do better, and in this instance, we just have to do better. Like if anything, if people do get there on the Saturday, it's like don't engage in it because I think Carlos said it yesterday in the chat. He's just trying to distract us. He's trying to draw us to our goal. The protests have been beautiful. There's been like a proper unification. Like we can't ruin that over senseless violence for like 10 seconds. Don't get me twisted. If he happened to get his jaw rearranged, I'm here for it. But you know,
I would not be complaining.
yeah, I wouldn't be mad. You get me? You know them ones. But it's just one of them ones. Just kind of let's keep focused. Let's stay focused on the goal here because it seems like this one there's actually going to be change from this. And I don't know if you saw. Obviously, everyone saw the news today about Stormzy saying he wants to pledge 10 million
10 million.
over the next.
Yeah,
Bruv,
yeah.
if you saw the comments underneath, if you saw the racist white tears underneath, I was like, inject it. I said, this is wonderful, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
They love
were-
that. Or if
they-
I put 10 million into white only businesses,
That's the one.
you could be racist.
You've
right?
been doing that for
Shut your
hundreds of
mouth,
years anyway, bro.
Innit? That's
You know-
what the whole
you know what?
system is.
Yeah,
Bruv.
that's the irony. The irony is if you wanted this unification, like we're saying, we wouldn't have to do this in the first place,
Innit, bruv?
idiot.
You man let Epstein and the gang be doing that for a minute. Look what Epstein's been doing with that 10 million, bro.
Epstein, boy.
Exactly.
They don't work for mouth breathers, bruv. Just mouth breathers, fam. That's what they are, cuz.
Nah,
Bruv, you're
I
not
do
lying.
hope the protests keep on going though. I do think it's
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know? Yeah,
Well, it's
I do think
applying pressure and it's pushing
Yeah.
things through, innit?
yeah,
Nah,
definitely.
but
Look
one
at all
thing
the
I'm
statues
saying,
being taken down now.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say,
sure,
what do you man think about that? The statues that are being taken down. What's your
I ain't
opinion?
gonna lie,
Still
yeah.
up.
I'm happy that's happening, but at the same time, we're starting to see a little bit more, masses in terms of white races coming out. You see them two brothers from Coventry that got attacked.
Yeah,
From Coventry.
Do you know what? I want the full context of that video because that looked horrible, bro.
Yeah. I do want the full content of all I've been seeing the circulating around the net. That didn't look too nice, bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
That was a horrible sight, bro.
I looked into that a little bit before I based my judgment on it because from first take value, I get it completely. It looks fucking atrocious. But I looked back down like in the comments and whatnot, and they explained what kind of happened. But again, this could be bullshit. But they were basically saying that them two kids had like knives and they were pulling up to.
Nah.
But no,
I
but
heard they did.
I don't.
this
I-
is
on
the
the real-
person who tweeted it. This is from the person who tweeted
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't completely buy the whole thing,
don't
bro.
buy
That
it.
didn't.
I think that's the easiest go-to.
Yeah, I feel like that's a go-to,
Whoever
bro.
started it,
Yeah.
listen to that thing. They're shouting racial slurs. They're saying nigga this.
yeah,
Listen to
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Oh, were they
Yeah,
saying
that's
that?
what I'm
See, I
saying.
didn't hear
Yeah,
that shit.
that's what
I
I'm
didn't hear
saying.
that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Regardless
saying.
of how it started,
Oh,
it
so then there's
ended.
no excuse
That's
at
what
all,
I'm saying.
bro.
No, they were inciting
Exactly.
like, to
Yeah.
cause a reaction from the two boys.
And there was just two black guys. You're throwing all this stuff at him. If they had two knives, there's a way of. There's so many of them. There's a way of like doing a citizen's arrest or detaining them or whatever.
But
Throwing
these
at
are
all
the-
their bottles and shouting racial slurs is not doing
These are the
justice
type
what
of
they're
dons
thinking, innit?
that go football to fight, bro. These are the
Bruv.
dickheads that go
Man,
football to
bruv.
fight. I don't
It's true.
trust anything they do. I know. I think I
It's
even
true.
spoke about this last podcast, but I'll never do that. Like these man go football matches not to watch the football,
To
to get
fight,
waved
to get
and
waved,
fight the
to
other
fight.
man. Other man. So these man will chase
Yeah.
man down regardless if they got a knife. So I don't care about that.
Yeah,
I can't trust these man
Literally.
acting in any type of way.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry.
Yeah,
People are
100%.
clapping outside my yard, bruv. Mad noise. I hear car horns, everything.
That's
Mad
Kent for
noise.
you, my guy.
Yeah,
man,
man.
Oh.
Quiet these ends, bro.
It's 8 o'clock on a Thursday.
That's what. Oh yeah.
I can hear it now. I can hear it now.
Bro, bare car horns, bro.
Oh,
I
is
hear.
it?
Yeah,
You know, I think they've given up around my ends. I can't hear.
Oh,
nothing.
nah.
Let me look.
bro.
I can
There's
hear-
a flipping near where I live because I live. If you keep on going, it's near a river. I can hear like the boats and their things. They're going ham. Like it's mad. They're still going.
Boats.
Yeah.
You really live out in the sticks, boy.
Ranky.
You know them Game of Thrones boats with the wood.
You know what? Hey, that's it for part-time episode 2.
Brother, thing ain't done. Thing ain't done. Still running, my guy. Man said boats. I never knew there was boats near your
Them
yard.
Game of Thrones ones when they took
I can't lie, Dwayne.
the
Even
King's
I was
Landing in that.
Oh, that's deep, man.
You man are
You're
because
a
you've been
great
here.
job.
You man are bastards. Yeah.
Anyways, let's go back on topic, bro. That's funny, but
I just think he's not someone to be
Rangi-
taken serious, innit?
Ban
That's what it is.
Rangi and his propaganda, innit? Yeah, you can go on, Dan. Go on.
I don't think Tommy Roberts is gonna go. Personally, I don't think he's gonna go.
No, I think
he's
he will.
gonna go.
Nah, I
Yeah,
think he will.
bro,
I don't
what else has he got to do?
If
What-
the police had any common sense,
They
that
don't.
guy could not roll.
Nah, but they won't stop him from rolling.
facilitating. They
You
facilitated
basically
it.
answered your
Hey.
question.
I'm just
I
saying.
said
Exactly.
I'm
They're,
just saying.
they're facilitating it.
Yeah.
It's like when they hear that something's gonna happen and they hear like a terror threat and they don't react. This was the kind of situation that's gonna possibly happen.
Yeah, in terms of the chaos, yeah, you got Tommy Robinson and his dons. You got the police in full riot gear. You've got supposed black protesters or whatever rioting, started doing a mazine. Like, that's what they want. This is the picture. Imagine that picture on the front of the Sun in the morning, bro. That's what these people want. They're trying to cause chaos. They want there to be a stir so they can link it back to black people and say, look what these guys started. Do you get me? Like, that's the reality.
Wegs is coming from the point of view that, bro, police should do their fucking job, fam,
Yeah, for real.
and see that he's trying to incite violence and stop him before he starts, which, bro, they should
No, but
do.
isn't half of the problem the police
I'm
weren't doing
cynical.
the job? This is half of
Yeah,
why
but
this
I'm-
started in the first place.
I
can't be
don't think
surprised.
so, but I'm saying they should be. I'm not saying they will.
Yeah.
I
They
think
can
a lot
probably
of
let
them
man run it and
want
say
to
it's
burn.
freedom of speech, but
No, I
That's
think a lot of
bullshit.
them, they want it to burn. They want it to burn. They want everything to burn. A lot of these things.
I found it.
think a
Let
lot
me-
of them
let me-
policemen had enough.
Rangs, you tweeted it, yeah. Obviously, this is an American situation, but I seen the thing where they got like the KKK in it. Do you get me? And let's face it, everyone knows what KKK is around the whole globe. Like, there's no questions about what they stand for. They're doing their protests, they're marching up and down, and the police are just standing there, just watching them, just letting them do, not trying to them, not trying to get involved. Juxtapose that with the same things happening with the Black Lives Matter protests, and you've seen how the police, or certain police, I won't even label all police, but certain police have been reacting to that. I just found that image was
what
just,
did-
it blew my mind.
Yeah,
fam,
that's
what
I'm
did
saying.
Trump
me?
say about them, man? I said Trump was like, there was some good men when they done the white nationalist
Yeah.
and whereas yeah,
the president.
Lives
Imagine
Matters
the
was thugs.
big president's co-signing. Exactly, he's
co-signed them,
co-signing.
bro. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
People, he's like, you have to, even like when Boris got in charge over here and then his rhetoric before, like people understand, like even if people don't believe in politics, like when there's a leader of a country, it sets a tone in it. And whatever, say what you want about Obama, but his tone was different. Like Donald Trump and Boris Johnson, their tone is just like mad. Like the tone they set for people. People are like, if them lot from the highest house of the land can do it, then we can do it. That's why I said hate crimes have gone up.
That's what I'm
recently,
saying.
You know what I mean? Racism are now out. Brexit happened and bare man them were using Brexit to mask their thing. But we knew the people that were voting for Brexit were a bit hickey, you know? But that's if they're seeing like the highest order of the land doing that,
Well,
then,
that's
you know,
Nigel
they're
Farage's
like,
move,
I
bruv.
can-
And look what
for
he's
real.
saying, bruv. I remember Nigel
calling us
Farage.
Taliban.
Yeah,
Man
fam.
say we're Taliban, you know.
But remember, bruv,
Yeah, he's
Nigel
deep in
Farage, yeah, he was flipping advisor to Donald Trump, bruv.
Yeah.
So it says a lot.
He got
There's a
sacked
lot.
off LBC anyway today, so that's good news.
Yeah. But yeah, bruv, he's calling Black Lives Matter, comparing it to Taliban, like Rang said, fam.
You
Crazy.
And I think the worst thing is about that is there's people that are just brain dead that believe that rhetoric. That's what's scary.
Right.
And I know we shouldn't be surprised in it, but I'm like, bro, like, how can you believe such an ignorant statement? Because there's no evidence that suits what he's saying. But you know, people just want to believe what they want to believe for their own agendas in it. So yeah, people are mad in it. Oi! So obviously last week, you know, we were talking about ambush, and Dan was like, "Rah, what do you know apart from jumping?" And he stood me. Okay, calm.
Bro, you held on
You
to
got-
that, bruv.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do in quarantine?
Yeah,
What's that
bro.
track he had?
I did
Is it man don't care?
apart from
Yeah,
yeah, but
That was just
get a
after
track called-
Jumpy still.
yeah, I like that tune. I like that tune. I thought that tune was
yeah,
nice.
easy.
Yeah, I thought that tune
But
was
he
nice.
dropped his project. Ask My Brother. I don't know if you lot have heard it.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not gonna lie. Poor behavior
Yeah.
from me. Yeah.
Come on, Rangy. We have a
Hey,
podcast.
Rangy,
I know,
man.
Ranky.
This was in the notes, bruv.
It was
Fair,
on the previous episode,
fair,
right?
fair. No, right.
Chris, have you listened
Chris
to
ain't
it?
heard
Too much
it.
R&B. Too much R&B, fam.
Chris, you listened to it?
I've been working today, innit?
Yeah. Slackers. But anyways, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
The first
personally,
tune was wavy. I listened to the first tune, it was sick. But after that,
personally, this is a sick album. Sick album. Like,
Damn.
I don't think there's a song which I don't like on the album.
Listen to the passion.
Score out of 10?
Right.
What?
Ambush is that guy, yeah?
Score out of 10?
I
9.
knew he was gonna say 9.
Bruh.
I knew he was gonna say 9.
9.
You know,
9, you know?
9.
I thought he was gonna say 10.
Now,
because
you know me when it comes to old legends in the sense that I don't listen to them as much and whatnot, but DWE? DWD? Wait. DWE.
DWE,
Right.
Gotta check myself.
I'm
Fam,
finished,
man
man.
was struggling.
DWE, his verse smashed it out of the park. But
No, that was
DWE
like
smashed
for me,
it.
that was the weakest track.
oh,
Can't lie, bro.
Dan, when are we gonna agree on a song? Bro?
I can't even...
One day,
Yeah.
bro.
Also,
You know what it is? You know what it is here? What I like about Ambush, and I think it goes back to our conversation before, is that he's finding his pocket. It's not that I expect like lyrics from Ambush. I just like the way he delivers on tracks and his cadence. Like when Ambush says something, I believe that guy, bro.
Yeah,
I believe him.
yeah.
Like, I just like what he brought because I wasn't, I'm not expecting lyrical, and I'm expecting crud. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm expecting crud from you, Ambush, and he delivered on that front. I can't lie, bro. Yeah, that silly events with gigs,
Amazing.
That was a great track.
Amazing.
fantastic.
Man, go check it.
Bro.
I'll give my opinion next podcast, innit?
Nah, it's solid.
Rangy,
Hey,
mate.
Dwain, score them.
I'll give it a 7.5. I think some I did get bored, but the tracks
Wegz
that
is
were really
outraged,
good.
boy.
Yeah, Wegz is outraged. But the tracks that were really good were really good. Like really good. That's
What
for
tracks
me.
were you feeling?
I like
Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. I'm just curious.
Silly Events, EastEnders,
I know.
Kill It, Mass on Sunday. I liked. Oh, Gigs had thing.
Yeah, you got 2
Mm.
features.
I liked Winners with C-Biz and HM and yeah, I like that. And Tommy Shelby as well. That one grew on me. I didn't when it first came out. I was like, but he's got the video to that one, innit?
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to feel good to show me.
Hey,
Shout out to
Wegz.
my man.
Hey, Wegz, your neck's gonna hurt, bruv.
Yeah, for real. Next is Wegz.
Fam.
You're nodding hard.
Hard, bro.
This album is
I
a
love the
9,
passion,
solid
man.
9, bruv. I'm telling you, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now the tracks that were really good are really good, like really good. Dan, what about you, man? I'm waiting for you to hot up Wegz.
Huh?
Go. Yeah.
No.
I'm waiting.
I'm not as passionate, but bruv, I thought it was a good project, bruv. I've been listening to it, since it dropped, bruv.
Yeah.
I think he surprised me with his versatility. To be honest, he spoke on topics I wouldn't expect him to speak on, and there was some interesting, like, I know EastEnders came out before, but the storytelling on EastEnders was sick.
really good.
Like, I thought that was quite impressive. Like, I wouldn't think Ambush would make a storytelling tune. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I wouldn't expect that. Maybe I was wrong for not expecting that, but
Yeah.
he put me on like I said, I'll say 7.5 is around like 8. I think he's got somewhere to go.
That 8, I think.
Definitely.
I said 7.5, 8ish. I'm kind of more on Dwain's side, but because there were some songs where I wasn't like jump out like wow.
Yeah.
But bruv, there was bangers. Like I said, EastEnders was really impressive to me. City Events.
Yeah.
I liked Casino. The intro was hard.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at chat list.
Yeah, no.
Bit more. I like that. Even It's Me. What was the one we had a little vocal one? It's
Pretty
me.
Rowdy.
No, not that one. It was the one before that. It was It's Me.
It's me. Yeah.
It's me. Where is it? And it's me. I thought that was cold still. The little harmonizing. I was like, yeah.
That was sick.
Even Free Rowdy was a little. That was cold. Like his little
his guy
bit
from
before.
I think what you said is key there. Then I think this is a great foundation for him. Like he can go because, as you said, I was kind of taken aback with his storytelling as well. Because maybe once again, my ignorant self, I just want crud from Ambush in it. But saying that with this project, he showed me that he can make a project, and this is a foundation that I'm now looking forward to what you're gonna drop next. Because I said when Jumpy and Jumpy Remix came out in my top 5 songs that year, that took up 2 spots. That's how impressive the output was.
Wow.
So
Jumpy was a mad thing. Like
what?
But
Which-
it goes.
Oi.
it definitely goes back to what I said in terms of like it's still early days for these people. So you just give them a chance to like show themselves, man.
Definitely.
They'll end up surprising you. Some people will end up surprising you. Some people will just fade to the background, and that's how that's how I have to go sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
You know what's mad? I saw Ambush was in that freestyle video on the beach with Sneakbo, Ardads, Deps Man, RIP, like Bearman. I don't know, maybe I'm just chatting, whatever. No. But it was an SBT TV freestyle I used to watch in it, and he was in. That was from back in the day, like. So he's been about.
He's been grinding for a minute then.
Yeah, but I mean, it went 10 the other day, didn't he? So I don't know if he's had.
Yeah. I saw that video when he was about to fly out in it. They got him at the airport. That's mad, you know. I would have been fuming.
That's bad.
And another thing as well. I do feel obviously they'll make their money, but I do feel sorry for like them like him, Dr. Velli, because right now you'd think they'd be killing shows right now. They'd be making their money, but you know everyone's stuck inside. You know what I mean? They can't do that and kind of long. So hopefully when things get better, they can just kind of go out and do that, man. Because,
Dr. Velli's fine because he's got bangers to come. I'm telling you, bro. I seen him. He's got a tune with M Honcho, innit?
M Honcho, my guy.
Cold, bro.
Dan giving that exclusive news, bro.
Socials, bro. Socials.
Nah, I can't lie. M Honcho. I can't lie. I think I'm a fan. You know, like I was a fan before, but I keep on listening to Huncholini the first, and I'm like, yeah.
Huncholini the first like took him up a level. I can't lie.
Yeah, there's no one else. When you hear him, you just know it's him, bro. His voice is too unique, bro.
They did it, and just the way he's
running with that theory that M Honcho is Dino, bro. I'm still running with that theory.
What theory is that?
Yeah, that is a one-on-one hot take, boy, because I've never heard that one before, boy.
I said M Honcho is Dino. I don't care. I'm saying that's the same dog.
Not that Donny, fam. Not my that.
Come on. Come on, bro. I think M Honcho is from around Iraq/Afghanistan, around them sides, bro.
I don't know.
One day
I'm thinking.
Well, he used to say the N-word, didn't it? And he stopped, didn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't? Am I getting that wrong or something?
No. I think you got drawn up for that.
I heard that, but I didn't see that. I need to see the evidence.
Because I know that happened to that dead brother in the US, fam. What's his name? Nav.
Ooh, Nav. Yeah, trash guy. Certain man said he was good. I ain't gonna name names.
Nah, bro. His early days. His early day stuff. That was me, brother.
Nah, bad people bang for Nav though.
Early datings. I haven't checked any of the new stuff now, so I'm not gonna lie.
His album wasn't that bad.
I figured that.
A lot of people like it, boy.
I didn't listen to it, so I'm not gonna lie.
So how did like Fat Joe get the blind then? Mate, how's 6ix9ine still getting the blind for saying that?
We don't talk about that guy, man.
Because 6ix9ine, bro, are you not as disappointed as me? Yeah, that 6ix9ine has made a second locked up with Akon.
Yeah, I can't lie.
I saw it and I just kept the movie.
I said this today, and I was like, imagine I'm putting myself in Akon's shoes, yeah, and I've got to make music with this guy. Like, I wonder how they can do it with the same like vim. Do you get me? Because really and truly, you're probably only doing it for the bag. Do you get me? Like, you're not doing. I can't imagine man's doing it because like he's been desperate to work with 6ix9ine.
But don't need the bag. That's what I don't understand.
Do you know how much money Akon's got?
I don't know. He might.
But what other reason
Akon's got a whole city, bruv. He's making a whole city.
Give me another reason, man. We literally sat here saying, I can't believe it. What other reason could there be?
I'm interested in a reason, but I don't think it's money. My guy. I don't think money is the reason, bro. He's got too much.
I can't imagine it's money
under his belt.
Yeah.
Akon's got Lady Gaga under his belt, bro. Exactly what I'm saying. Lady Gaga's under him.
I want a favor then or something. Like he just owes somebody that works somewhere.
Maybe he believed in man's vision, bro, which is even.
Maybe he lost the bet, bro. He lost the bet, so he has to work with man's vision, bro.
That's funny, bro.
Akon's out here lighting up Africa, and then you're out here in the studio with 6ix9ine, bro. Get out of here, man.
Bro, you never know. He might make him a big star.
Oh, please.
What, 6ix9ine? He's already a star. Wegz. I don't think he could get bigger. I don't think Akon's the man to take him bigger, if I'm honest.
Exactly, bro.
I mean,
no one's gonna give him a blind in terms of snitching shit, bro.
Everyone
6ix9ine is still hitting charts, bro.
Everyone forgot what Akon did to Lady Gaga, bro. Lady Gaga blew.
Lady Gaga wasn't a big snitching, doing that Rico.
I get that.
Incomparable, bro.
Exactly.
I feel like he can turn 6ix9ine to
what I'm saying
is artist anymore, bro. He won't. Like he could do something mad.
It's just a troll, man.
This hot
6ix9ine
take
what?
is a bit
6ix9ine's gonna
mad.
do a poker face, bro.
Let's move on swiftly. I'm not hearing this hot take. Let's move on swiftly.
This is weird, bro.
Yeah.
6ix9ine's, anyway, 6ix9ine's already there, bro. You just don't realize. He's just not big
no, he
here.
is.
Like,
He is, bruv. As soon as he come out, how much views did he get on?
Man. It's all these youths, cuz. I'm saying, let's be real. Hello, youths out here, like. Dude.
I can't like. I don't know who it is in the UK though. I don't see no one checking for 6ix9ine, boy.
He's got a song dropping with Nicki Minaj now, fam.
Yeah,
Another one. One day we'll have a discussion about that disbehavior that she's exhibiting as well, bro. I don't know.
Bro, man put his finger to the mic, bro.
No, because you know
Like
what
she's
it
your
is with,
child, fam.
Nah, you know what it is with Nicki, yeah? Nicki's a whole legend. You don't have to do this, my G. You were like one of the pioneers of female rap, man. Yeah, fair enough, Wegz, money and everything. But you don't need. You're Nicki Minaj.
I feel
bro.
maybe she feels that her position is under threat now, innit? Because she's no longer the only female rapper in the game.
No, bro, she's a legend, though. Like what she done for.
Yeah. Mate, sometimes you're insecure, innit? Don't be shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're
Don't forget she was crying over coming number 2 to Travis Scott, bro.
Mate.
No, I think she's just out. She's just.
Travis
I think her team or whatever. She's just finding it hard to be in the market right now. So, I just don't think she. I think she's a diva in it, and she's not really. She's just going with what she thinks that she wants to do. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's a smart move for certain moves that she's making. But at the end of the day, I think you just got to let people do what they have to do, and eventually she'll see that the error of her ways.
Saying that though, that last
error of
that
her
last
ways.
At the end of the day,
was big.
Yeah.
That was no small tune. That last tune they did together was big.
Yeah,
Fifi.
yeah, but that was when he wasn't. That was before everything. So everything's
Bruv,
different.
I'm telling
now,
you,
bro.
this snitching thing ain't changed nothing, bro.
Yeah, no, it hasn't, man.
If anything, it's making more people, it's like intriguing people to go through and listen to it.
That's it. People are intrigued. That's why.
But Dan, he'll still sell. I reckon he'll still sell.
Cool. I agree. He's
Especially
definitely.
with
He's already sold.
I'm sure he will. Let him do his thing. I just don't care. I'm not gonna check it.
I'm exactly the
I
same.
didn't check the
It's not
first
for
record
us,
that
innit?
he dropped. I just don't care, bro.
Nah, I banged for Gummo though. Can't lie. That was a bang.
I don't even know the difference between all these names. They're all basically just like baby sounds, really, aren't they? Like, I don't know, like.
Yeah, I feel like he's taking the piss though. I feel like that's always been his thing.
That's funny.
All I know is that get it gone with the sticky yo. That one.
That's
That's
basically
incredible.
50% of man's tunes, though. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, bro. He
You
just
can be
shouts, bro.
referencing the whole catalogue of album songs.
Literally, man just shouts, bro. That's
How
on
we
my
got on
head.
6ix9ine? Was that my fault? That was my fault,
Yep.
innit?
That was the fault, bro.
Yeah, it would be me to bring up 6ix9ine. I'll give you that.
Segue out of that, bro.
Nah, I said I was disappointed, man, in Akon, bro.
Let Akon do his business.
Bro, let Akon keep opening up cities and paying for stuff in Africa, bro.
Yeah, as long as he's doing that, I'm always gonna be with the brother Akon.
What,
bro.
he's got a pass. He's got a pass, yeah?
Yeah, but of course, he's
Yeah,
doing way
he's got a
most, bro.
pass. He's definitely got a pass, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
At the end of the day, I'm for the people, for the movement now, bro. You gotta be for the people, bro.
Yeah.
So,
That's what I'm saying, bro.
169 anyway. I think we're done, lads, you know. I think we
Do you want to end it there? Do we have something else?
nah, we can't. We ain't ended that on 6ix9ine, bro.
You get me, guys.
Ah, bro. So
What do you want to? But no one did their top 10 albums halfway through the year, did they?
Alright, well, Wegz did.
Nah.
Oh, wait, you did.
I do things.
Anybody else?
I'm
Chris?
still here waiting for answers
This-
from
okay.
other people.
Hey, I'm here to challenge this list. So let's go. Run that top 10. Let me hear this sucker challenge it.
Mine.
That's what I'm here for. Yes.
Ah,
'Cause I know it's gonna be something ridiculous, bro.
Randy just wants to
ridiculous.
attack, man, bro.
It's gonna be something ridiculous, bro.
I don't think it was even bad.
I got
Can't
number
remember.
10. I got Warner by Gunna. Number 9. I got Polaris by H.
That's it. Okay.
Number 8, Dark Lane demo tapes Drake. Number 7, Ambush. Ask My Brother. Number 6, Slime B, Chris Brown and Young Thug.
Hey.
Number 5, High of Life, Future. Number 4, A Written Testimony, Jay Electronica. Number 3, Heaven or Hell, Don Toliver. Number 2, After Hours, The Weeknd. And number 1, Raw. Number 1,
No, sorry.
Big conspiracy, J Hus.
Okay.
I
It's
don't
big
mind
conspiracy.
it, but I'm sure my list is going to be totally different to that. But I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
mind
my
it
list is
still.
completely different, but I respect
Yeah.
it. There's a lot of albums I like in
Mm.
there anyway.
When-
As H got up there though.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that was a bit questionable still, but
To be fair, that
But, yeah.
was either that or the Babies album, but I kind of vibe to the H's one a bit more.
even
I
that,
did not.
even the Babies album is questionable, boy.
That album was not it for me,
You
boy.
banging the Babies album like that?
Yeah, 100%. It was good.
I thought that
What,
I didn't see.
Nah, the
No,
Babies.
no, he dropped another thing.
Blame
He
it
dropped
on the Babies.
another thing.
Oh, he dropped
Yeah.
another thing. All
What
right.
was,
Yeah,
what was
blame
it
it on
even
Baby.
called?
Blame it on
I think
Baby.
blame it on the Baby.
Baby on Baby.
Yeah, blame it on
Blame
Baby.
it on Baby.
Or Blame It on Baby.
Yeah. No, come on, man. Thank you, you lot for listening again. That was good convo. Enjoy chatting with you guys. You know, Ranks. You know, come on, first time, and you're gonna be here for a while as well. You know, bang bang.
I love man.
Come on, man.
You know how it goes.
We'll find out what happened to Tevin and let you guys know.
Yeah. For real, man. Check the website out. We're going to be active on the socials as well. Follow everyone's Instas and Twitters. And yeah, man, we'll be back with more content next week, man. The Part Timers Pod. Bang, bang, bang.
Yes, guys, we've been Part Timers. I'm gonna do the typical part of like podcast ending. So like, comment, subscribe. Please let us know what you want to see, what you want us to do. We're gonna try and do this weekly. Check our socials, follow us, look at our website, www.theparttimers.co.uk. And yeah, check out next week, please. Thank you. Bye.